So if we're going to learn to earn in the business and understand the fundamentals of learning to earn, here's the thing. We got to understand what business are we in. So first and first, every business requires culture. And you guys know our culture. Our culture is built upon four fundamentals. But before that, what's the first thing you got to know? If you don't know why you're doing HGI, HGI would never be something you want to do. See, many people come to HGI for many different reasons. Some people come for the education, some people come for the opportunity. Some people even come for the association, right? Some people just want to be associated with something positive. Some people just want to be associated with something uplifting. Some people just want to be associated with something positive, right? So it's either they come for the opportunity, or they come for the education, or they come for the association. So you got to ask yourself, why are you here at HGI? It could be for all three. You could be here for all three. You could be here for the opportunity, you could be here for the association, or you could be here for the money, right? You could be here for the income, the education, right? So you got to ask yourself why. So when you look at my why, right, and you see that my why is very clear, I have my top 10 reasons why I do this business. And many of you are part of my why. Many of you are part of my why. But where are you part of my why? Well, let's look at number six. Number six, to create 1,000 millionaires in the financial service industry. Every last one of you on this call right now, my goal is to help you to cross over $1 million, right? That's where you're part of my why. Every day, no matter how I feel, no matter how whatever I'm going through, I will always show up for you guys, no matter what, right? Because your why is my why, just like my why is your why, right? We have to always fight for each other, push each other. Where do you fit in my why again? Travel the globe with my friends, my family, my business partners, right? You guys fit in my why right there. Well, how about number nine? How many of you want to be retired, right? I want to retire myself, my wife, my kids, my clients, my business partners. Absolutely. I want to retire every last one of us. How do we retire each other? Well, it first starts with what? Financial education, right? It starts with financial education. Then what it happens with? Financial empowerment, financial freedom, right? Financial freedom. So in order for us to get to financial freedom, we need financial education, right? And that's why I want to empower you guys with that understanding. So the only way, like I said, for all of this to come to fruition, it requires culture, right? And we have a culture that breed leaders, and leaders is the only thing that we see. Everybody on this call is a leader. You are a leader in your own rights. And it's my job to teach you how to lead within HGI, right? And leading in HGI require us to have a few things in place. And I want you guys to always remember this. Always remember our standards. Everybody and anybody needs to be teachable, coachable, and reliable at all times. That's the first thing. Number two, our boundaries. Our boundaries is to always put yourself and your business partners in a position to inspire, educate, and motivate each other, right? But you got to do it for yourself first, right? It's just like when you go on the airplane. What does the airplane tell you? You always got to put the oxygen tank on your face first. So you have to be the positive person. You have to be the person that want to inspire others. You got to be educated. You got to be motivated, because nobody's going to motivate you. Your why should motivate you, right? Your why. What's your purpose? Your purpose got to be bigger than your fear. Mm. Your purpose needs to be bigger than your fear. Because what is fear? Fear is a false evidence appearing to be real, which means that there's no real fear. The unknown should never be fearful, right? You should be curious. Be more curious of the unknown. Don't be fearful of it. Because if you inspire, educate, and motivate yourself, you're going to get past it, right? That's why our boundaries stand so strong. What about the expectations? We do expect you to have a meeting, recruiting, fast start, or teamwork mentality. These are very important. Our culture requires that. But it's a different mindset when we talk about the meeting mentality. What is the meeting mentality? Is it just showing up to the trainings, showing up to the BOP, showing up to the CFC, showing up to the office? No, 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 no. There's a reason for each meeting. Let me show you how it works. When we go out in the field, right? We go on field training. That's a meeting. That's a meeting for us to educate the client. That's a meeting for us to educate you on how to educate the client. And that's also an opportunity for you to invite guests to come to another meeting, which is at the office. Office meeting. The office meeting is the local event, right? The local event that build the breeding ground for leaders. It's like the hub. This is the hub, right? This is the headquarters. You have to have them come and learn from the headquarters, right? It's just like McDonald's. When you open up a McDonald's, what must you do? You gotta go to McDonald's University, right? You gotta learn how much burgers and how many pickles and how much ketchups you gotta put on that burger and one slice of cheese and how many buns, right? You gotta make sure that you know how to make a good, perfectly burger. Same thing within our firm. That's why the office is the local event, the local meeting. Now, what is the other local meeting that happen? We got to bring them to like a Super Saturday. We're going to have a lot more of those coming up in the main things, right? Super Saturdays. What is a Super Saturday? That's when we bring everybody together. Another meeting, right? How about when we bring them to Top Gun? That's another meeting. How about when we bring them to COC, Convention of Champions? That's another meeting. How about when we bring them to Hawaii? That's another meeting. Europe, another meeting. Do you realize that we build our business? Write this down. We build our business from meeting to meeting, event to event, right? But where does it start? It starts in the field. Then it starts in the office. Then it starts to a local event. Then it starts to Top Gun. Then it starts to Convention of Champions. Then it starts to Hawaii. Then it starts to Europe. And we do it all over again, right? So the goal is that when you go to many meetings many times, don't say, oh, it's the same thing. You don't realize that the meeting, the first time you go to the meeting, that was for you. The second time you go to the meeting, it's for someone else to bring with you. And it's also for you to be reminded of what you do, right? You ever been to the meeting, you're just like, man, I wish such and such was here to hear this right now. How many of you guys wish that you had some more team members on the call right now to hear this, right?
Of
Yeah.
course.
We always feel that way. Like, man, if such and such was here right now to hear this, this would have been the thing they needed to know, right? That's why the meeting is so important. So the meeting is for you and I and them, right? It's for all of us to go to many times over. There's no such thing as too many meetings. Go to the meetings over and over and over. And don't let me stop and say over again. Okay? You always got to go to meetings many times. But recruiting mentality. What am I telling you to recruit? We talked about the 4 things that you always got to be recruited in your business. Because many people believe that recruiting is just simply what? A new agent. Everybody always believe that recruiting is simply just an agent. No, recruiting is not just an agent. You got to recruit 4 things in your business at every given time. You always got to be recruiting first people that want to refer people to you. Because you got to remember, we are in the referral business, right? We're in the referral business. We're in the getting referrals. So you want to recruit people that will give you referrals. All right. My mother is the number one referral source in my business. She will call me in a heartbeat and say, Keyon, I need you to go talk to this person. Go call your cousin. Go call this person. I met this person at this place. She's a referral agent, okay? And she's coded, but she's just simply a referral agent. Tell her to go study for her license. She's not doing it. Tell her to come to these meetings. She's not doing it. She may come on and do a quick little talk, but she's not going to be doing it, right? But you know what? She's always out there meeting people and telling me, you need to talk to this person. She's a referral source. You want those type of people in your business, right? Especially if you're thinking about longevity in this business. Who's going to constantly refer people to you? And if you do a good job, people will always refer you no matter what. Number 2, you got to refer people that wants to learn, students. You got to refer students. You know, some people look at the person that just say, hey, I just want to learn about finance and don't think that they're valuable. I think they're the most valuable people on your team. I'm gonna tell you why. The referral, the student, if they stick around long enough, they become a client. If they stick around long enough, they become a business partner of yours. Some people just gotta come on and learn first. And there's nothing wrong with people being skeptical. Write this down. Skeptical people are just curious people. Okay? They're just curious people. Skeptical people are curious people. They're just skeptical because they haven't got all the information from you yet. But once they get it, oh man, it's clear as day. Skeptical people are curious people. You want people that's skeptical. Turn them into students. Tell them, come on, just come and learn first, right? Let me tell you something. We've given people this opportunity, right, to be a part of our program. And the one thing I love about how we do business, let me tell you something. If they do not want to get started right now, or let's say they don't have the initial investment to get their associate membership agreement, do not turn them away. Do not turn them away. Isn't our job is to, let me ask you this. Is the mission come before the commission? Does the mission come before the commission? That's a no. The mission come first. And our mission is to
Yes.
teach families how to create wealth. So what does that mean? We always treat everybody as if they already joined. Teach them as if they already joined. Educate them like they already joined. And one day they will join you. You gotta always treat people right, right? So that's why you always want to focus on recruiting students. You want people that want to come and learn from HGI. You want to recruit people that want to come and learn from Miss Rafina, from Richard, right? From Omar, or even the Sarahs out there, right? You want them to come and learn from you guys because they deserve financial education. What's the third person you want to recruit? Clients, right? Clients, not to sell them an IUL, not to sell them a term, not just to do some rollovers, not to give them estate planning. Why are you recruiting clients? Remember what our mission is. We're recruiting clients to teach them how to create wealth. And how do you help people to create wealth? By helping them build, write this down, you help them to build a stronger financial foundation, right? The way that you help clients to build wealth is by teaching them how to create a stronger financial foundation. That's the reason why when you recruit the client, don't recruit them to sell them. Recruit them to teach them, create with them, build, right? Build. You know, I used to be a part of an organization that said, man, we are system builders. We're builders, right? Now we're in HGI. We said, no, we are creators, right? Because we could start from scratch. Number four, what's the fourth thing you're going to recruit in your business? You're going to recruit business partners. You're going to recruit business partners. I didn't say recruit employees. I didn't say recruit down lines, right? Upside lines, all these lines. Man, get rid of the lines. Everybody's a business partner. Write this down. The only difference between me and you is that I started before you. That's the only difference. The only difference between me and every one of you on this call today is that I started before you, which means that I read the LFS before you. I read the Conquer Your Future book before you. I read the Magic of Recruiting before you. I read the Fast Start book before you. But does it mean that you can't read those things too? Yes, you can. And with time, you can know as much as I do or even more, right? And that's the power of our business. This business is the ultimate equalizer with time. Because a brand new person can come in this business today and boom, shoots up all the way to the highest level in our firm within a year, right? Why? It's because this business system is the equalizer. So the difference between me and you is just that I started before you. That's all. There's nobody better than each other. So when you recruit your business partners, you recruit a business partner that you could build with, that you could go on the crusade with, that you could teach, right? and you guys go out there and change lives together. So you got to recruit people that is purpose driven. And what is the purpose of us being together in business? To create wealth for families. So that's why we recruit those four type of people in our business, right? At all times. Also, when it comes to fast start mentality, oh man, I can't stress this enough. Always have a fast start mentality. Build your business fast. You should remember these numbers 24/48. All right. 24/48. What does that represent? The amount of time that it would take you to talk to somebody in the business, right? If someone joined you in business today, you want to take 24 to 48 hours to get in front of them, to talk to them, and talk to them constantly. Constantly. Today I got a text from Omar. He's fired up, right? Fired up. And to see Omar's fired up, why? Because he's out there campaigning, man. He's out there campaigning at work, in the streets, wherever you see. He's out there campaigning like no other because he's really into the crusade. He wants to create wealth for himself and his family. Same thing with Richard, right? Campaigning. Miss Rafina, campaigning, right? Constantly. They're not doing it for the money. Yes, the money will come, but it's about the impact. That's why you want to focus on the crusade. Focus on the impact. What impact do you want to leave on family's life? Think about this for a second. Here's a question I want you guys to think about. I want you to think about every time you see someone in front of you and you approach about the opportunity, do you see the impact you could leave on their life for the next 10 years? Do you ever think about the impact you could make on their life in the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years? Let's even go as far as 100 years. That's how I see this business. The impact. How quickly can I make an impact on someone? Is that impact just a new recruit? Is that impact some money? What about the impact of understanding, enlightenment? Think about the day when you got that impact from me. When it went from the light bulb moment, I call it. The moment when everything makes sense. And you said, that's how that works. Think about how empowering that felt. And that's what we do for families. We give them the light bulb moment, the aha moment. Because once they get the aha moment fast, that could be in business, that could be in finance, that could be with the system, that could be out in the field, that could be fast start, name it. Once someone get the ha-ha moment, man, they're on fire like that guy Omar, man. They're on fire. Because the aha moment went from their head to their heart. That's what we do for families, right? But when it comes to teamwork, remember, you are in the business for yourself. Every last one of you here, independent contractor, right? Every last one of you on this call today is an independent contractor. Never forget that. So that means that you're in business for yourself. All right? This is your business. No matter what you do, this is your business. There's no one here can fire you. I can't fire you. No one can fire you. You can fire yourself if you do something unethically. But as far as someone here in HGI say, hey, you know what, Richard, you're fired, man. You're fired. No one could do that here. Nobody. There's not one person could fire you. There's not one person could fire me. You're in business for yourself. You are an independent contractor, an independent business owner here, right? But you know what is make it so beautiful is that you're not by yourself. That's what makes our opportunity so great. Teamwork mentality. You're in business for yourself, but you're never by yourself. You're never by yourself. And that's why our intentions is so strong when it comes to that. Why does teamwork matters and why does the intentions matter? Number one, you got to respect yourself, your business, and everybody else's business as well. Always respect yourself, always respect your business, and always respect other people's business as well. Why those three things are matter? Well, let me ask you this. if you're going to truly respect something, right? Because I love giving you guys the psychology of things, right? Because you remember, without the psychology, then the information without understanding doesn't give you any clarity, right? So that's why I'm giving you this understanding over and over again, because I want to really empower you guys with clarity. Remember, when clarity is there, confidence will appear, right? So here's the thing. What is respect? The respect requires three things. And if you're not getting these three things, or you're not giving your business these three things, then you don't truly respect it. And if you're not receiving these three things, then you're not also respected. Here's the first thing respect requires: understanding. Understanding. Understanding require what? If you're going to understand something in life, and especially in this business, you got to learn the word empathy. Write that down. The word empathy. I know we did a whole training on this. Me and Rafina, and Miss Rafina and Richard, we talked about the difference between having sympathy and empathy. Let me tell you something right now. Do not have no sympathy for anybody. You're not God. God have sympathy on us, right? God is the only one should have sympathy on us. But empathy is very important in business to understand, because when you could put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand their point of view, that is what empathy is. And that's what the business require, right? You got to be able to take yourself and put yourself in Mr. Humphrey's mind frame when you read the LFS. When you read the LFS, the Fast Start, the Conquer Your Future book, right? When you look at the magic of compound and recruited, you have to be able to take yourself and put yourself in the system and become one with it to understand it, right? So the system requires understanding. What's the second thing you got to find? You got to accept. You got to accept. You got to accept what you understand. Don't come to change it. Don't try to rearrange it. Don't try to take away from it. Don't even try to add to it. Just accept it. Accept the system, because the system work. The system work if you work the system. It's the same thing with everything. Now, let me tell you something. You don't always have to agree with what you accept. Write that down. You don't always have to agree. There's a lot of things I don't agree with in the business, but I accept it. Why? Because I've learned to understand it. Do you understand? I'm always grateful that I understood what I've learned to accept. I don't need to change it. I don't need to add to it. I've just learned to accept it. Doesn't mean that I agree with it. And if you could do those two things, right? If you could do those two things for your business, you will find a new form of appreciation for understanding and acceptance. It's like understanding. When you think about the word appreciation, appreciation is what appreciated something is when you can eliminate expectations from it, but you have an intention. Now, when you join HGI, did HGI tell you to expect to make $1 million in 1 year? No. But the intention is that you can if you do what? If you accept the system, if you accept the system, if you understand the system, you can. But it never told you that you have to, or they don't expect you to. Is there anything in HGI saying we expect you to be this in 90 days? If they say, hey, we expect you to be 90 days MD or else, there's none of that here, right?
No.
No. So because we don't have that here, then we don't have to worry about any expectation, but the intentions is there. So that's where that respect comes in, right? That's why we say you're in business for yourself and you're not by yourself. But you got to respect your business. And you got to remember that everything that we expect you to respect is our standard boundaries and expectations. Now, trust in leadership. Trust. You must trust leadership and mentorship only. And I can't stop stressing this. Only trust the leadership and mentorship that is loyal to the system. That's the only leadership and mentorship you should trust. Because you invest $200 to get access to a platform and a system that is meant to make you very wealthy and educated when it comes to your finances. And if you're not receiving those two things, once again, if you're not receiving education and training, then that leadership is not your leadership. So you got to trust the leadership that is loyal to the system. And if you're loyal to the system, you're loyal to the cause, right? You're loyal to the cause. That's why you got to trust leadership and mentorship. That is only loyal to the system. Now, what is that you're loyal to? I always tell people, don't be loyal to people, right? One thing my mentorships in the past used to tell me, mentorships in the past used to tell me that, hey, don't be loyal to people. You got to find loyalty in commonality. Be loyal to commonality. What is the common thing that all of us need to be loyal to being in HGI? Number one, you got to be loyal to the system. Number two, you got to be loyal to the mission. If me and you is loyal to the mission and we're loyal to the system, we are automatically loyal to what? Each other. We're automatically in alignment with each other. We may not be in agreement, but we're in alignment. And that's what matters. So I don't look for people to be loyal to Coach Keyon. No. I need you to be loyal to the mission and the system. Because if you're loyal to those two things, we will always be loyal to each other, no matter what. That's what our business is all about, guys. That's our culture. That's the environment that we're building. That's the business that you have access to at every given time. So that's the reason why today's training is going to cover all of those things, right? That's what today's training is going to cover, all of this. If you implement everything that I just taught you through standards, boundaries, expectations, and intentions, and you make that become you, then you're not like Coach Keyon. You're not like Mr. Humphrey. You're not like Aki. You're not like Jody. You're not like anybody else. You know what you are? You are a leader. A leader. That's what this makes you, a leader. Because leaders must know when to identify the destination that we're trying to go. Leaders are able to clarify when there's confusions. Leader is here to inspire, educate, and motivate. Leaders have a mentality of meeting, recruiting, fast start, and teamwork. Leaders understand the standards to be teachable, coachable, and reliable. Leaders understand the importance of loyal to the system, the mission, trust, leadership, and mentorship that is loyal to the system. Respect by understanding, accepting, and appreciating their business. So it starts with your why. Leaders, remember what it said in the interview. Do you want strong leadership or you want weak leadership? Right? Which one do you want? You always said strong. And what did it tell you? Strong leadership leaves nothing up to chances. Nothing is left up to chances. Nothing. Everything have a clear path. So let's talk about that clear path today. Let's have a conversation about that clear path. What does that look like? So the clear path as a leader is focusing on educating people. You came in HGI to help families learn how to create wealth, not to recruit and sell. Let me make that very clear. If you wanted to recruit and sell, I would highly recommend there's a few other companies out there where you can recruit and sell and you could build those things. There's many companies out there. There's the Amways, you can recruit and sell. There's the PHP, you can recruit and sell. There's GFI, you can recruit and sell. Primerica, you can sell and recruit, right? Prudential, you can sell and recruit. I could go down the list. It's a long list of places where you can go sell and recruit. But here in HGI, guys, we don't just come here to sell and recruit. We're here to educate families and create wealth for them, right? Because if we focus on the mission, the commission, and the recruits will come. You don't have to sell what people need. I couldn't tell the last time I recruited someone in the business. As a matter of fact, they tell me they want to do the business. All I do is just ask and answer the question and make it clear what we do and what they're going to be doing. I don't have to tell them. I've shown them. And I said, if you're willing to do this, you can make an impact on families too, and income comes from it. So once again, if you come in our firm and your focus is to educate 30 people, and I told you that for every 30 people you educate, you're going to get 3 clients, 3 recruits, and $1,000 in business volume. Why not focus on the recruit? Because if you focus on recruiting 3 people, ask, you know what people always say? What's the question that people love to ask us? How do I get 3 recruits? How do I get 3 sales? And I love when people say, well, if you make a list and we're going to call your list, and then be like, so wait, we're going to try to persuade. I can't do that. How many people could do that? Then you wonder why people are skeptical to give you their names and numbers. They don't want you to sell their family and recruit them. But what if I asked a simple question? And that simple question is, hey, do you agree that everybody we know deserves to learn about finance? I think that's a fair question to always ask. Before you ask anybody to write down a name and number on a piece of paper, ask the question, do you agree that everybody we know deserves to learn about finance? And I guarantee you the answer will always be yes. Now, for those that say no, please, as them young folks would say, clock it. Okay? you better clock it. Because if someone look at you and say, no, everybody we know does not deserve to learn about finance, and they say no, let me tell you something, guys. You can also deny people the opportunity to work with you in the business. Because that person said no is a different type of person. Okay? And when someone show you who they are, please do not go blind to it. Okay? I tell you, everything in our business is a filter. It's a filter to filter people in, but it's also a filter to filter them out. Okay? Because if someone said, can you imagine you ask somebody the question? Richard, imagine you ask someone that question. He said, hey, do you agree that everybody deserves to learn more about finance? And they look at you and say, no. You're
I'd
looking at
run
them,
from,
huh?
I'm running from them.
Absolutely. That's the devil. That is the devil. That is the devil in a human shaped form. Okay. I'm condemning you. I'm sorry. You're okay? Because there's no way. That's like me saying, hey, do you believe that everybody deserves to live? And they say, no. What? Why would you think like that? Right. So you got to be careful. That's why we have filters. Right. So, but to get people to agree with making a list, don't sell them on the idea that we're going to get you 3 recruits, we're going to get you 3 sales in the next 30 days, and we're going to talk to your family and blah, blah, blah. No, don't do that. Don't be that person. Be the person that sit down with the person and ask them a real life question and keep it real. I don't want you guys to become art of persuasion and convention. No, no, no. Just keep it real with people. Ask them a real business question, heart to heart. You gotta have a heart to be in HGI. That's why the H is there first. You know what it says? Your heart grows immediately. HGI. Heart grows immediately. So if you don't have a heart, it won't grow. Right? So your heart has to grow immediately in order for you to have a group of people internationally. Woo, man, Mr. Humphrey better send me a check. Right? So, I'll tell you, I'm gonna use that one at convention, right? HGI. You gotta have a heart. Because if your heart don't grow immediately, then you won't have no groups internationally. You won't. You gotta have a big heart to be an HGI. So that's why you got to think about everybody. If you educate If you educate enough people, right? If you educate enough people, like 30 people, like I said, you'll get 3 recruits, 3 sales, $1,000 in your escrow easily. Just focus on educate 30. Now, for those that want to be technical, because I love my technical people, because I know some of you are going to say, well, Keyon, what if I could only educate 10 people? I know we got people like that on the team. All right. So this is for you. For the 10 people that you have, is it fair to say that 10 people could refer you 3 people? And what if each 10 just referred you 2? Didn't you just get to a whole nother 20 people that you can educate, right? So we always ask for referrals. It goes right back to what? Asking for recruiting referrals, right? So don't worry about how you're going to get to 10 and 20 and 30. Let's just focus on the mission, creating wealth for families. Now, what if you educate 60 people? Now, many people will say, well, coach, I don't know 60 people. Coach, that's a lot of people. I don't know a lot of people. And I said, that's okay. But what if you found 2 people that could go out there and educate 30 people each? Isn't that 60? Oh, coach, when you put it like that, yeah, great. You educated 30 people in your first month and you got 3 recruits, 3 sales. Those 3 people, let's say 2 of them out of the 3 educated 30 each. There goes your 60. Stop thinking that you have to do everything. But in the process of you doing that, you may recruit 5 people and have 5 clients and make $5,000 in business volume. But what if you educate 90? Coach, that's a lot of people again, coach. No, that's literally just having 3 people on your team educating 30 people. That's all that is. 3 people on your team educating 30 people. So if you had 3 people that's going out there with the crusade to educate 30 people each, that's 90 people educated in 90 days. Now you got 10 recruits on your team, 10 sales in your team, $10,000 in business value. How would you love to make an impact where you educated 90 people in 90 days? You got 10 recruits, 10 sales, and make $10,000. Is that a good business? How many of you guys want to focus on the impact so you can make the income? That's what's happening in this explosion here. So that's why in the next 3 to 6 months in your business, you could earn anywhere from $25,000 to $50,000. The first 90 days of this campaign, and if you educate 90 people, you could become an MD and make $25,000. If you educate 90 people again, which puts you at a total of 180 person in 6 months, you're making over $50,000 and becoming an RMD. Run your RMD, run your MD run based upon how many people you need to educate. That's why I've been telling you guys, focus on educating 30 people each month. Every brand new person coming in this business, their focus is educating 30 people, which means they got to do 30 practice sessions, right? 30. The first 10, they watch. The second 10, they do. The next 10, they do 5, I do 5. Boom. 30 days, they're ready to be on their own. But are they really on their own? No. But I mean, they become independent, but they choose to be interdependent. We'll talk more about what that means later on. So when you think about how you're going to grow your business, be a student of the business. You got to be a student first. You always want to be a student of the business first. What does that mean? Get fast started. Okay? You want to make sure you get fast started. This is your business. This is your business. This is the fundamental, the foundation of your business, guys. I can't stress it enough. Can you imagine in the first 10 days, you got to make sure that you focus on the following things to learn. In the first 10 days, number 1, you're going to learn how to put together your top 25 list. Number 2, you're going to learn about the business plan and commitments. Number 3, we're going to work on your financial needs analysis. Number 4, you're going to learn how to start field training. Number 5, you're going to start bringing 3 guests to the BOP. Number 6, you're going to obtain all your materials. Then number 7, you're going to register for licensing, right? But look at all the things you would have done before you go register for licensing. You have learned so much. Don't be a licensed agent that don't know how to do anything. Okay? Because your license is just a glorified paper. Don't glorify the license. Glorify the mission. Glorify the mission. Because when you do the mission right, you will have the motivation to go get licensed. Let me ask you this. If you had $4,000 sitting in your escrow, you think you're not going to work your butt off to get licensed? You think you're not going to go hard? Yes, you will. So I want to encourage you guys to be that person, right? Because if you work hard in the first 10 days, learning how to do all these things, within 30 days, like I said, just focus on educating 30 people. If you do that, you will expand with 3 new educators in your business minimum. You would have observed how to do 3 field training solutions with our sales, and internal consumptions what might have happened if it's needed. And it will happen. Number 10 always happen because there's yet for me to come across somebody that have everything done. I have not seen it yet, guys. And I've sit down with some of the wealthiest clients that I could think of. I've sat with a billionaire before and he didn't even have an estate planning done. Yeah, you'd be surprised. He had everything structured for his business, but he didn't have anything for his personal self. And I looked at him and said, what was the use of you having all this $1 billion with your business structure all that well, but you didn't structure yourself? He said, well, I never thought about myself. Everything is in my corporation. I said, you think that's all it was? You need to structure your personal too and your business, because why? What if you're in a coma while you're alive today? Do you have a health directive done? No. Why not? So don't think that rich people got it all together. I know a lot of them, and they don't. Okay? They don't. So internal consumption will always happen, especially if you sit down with your business partners, because there's not one person that I know have everything done. There's always room to improve. Building a stronger financial foundation takes time, and we have to get it done. So that's the reason why you have to be a student of the business, get fast started. But if you want to become an educator, you got to educate yourself in business. What does that mean? Educating yourself in business requires you to read the Conquer Your Future book. You got to read the Conquer Your Future book, guys. This book teaches you how to make more money or why you need to make more money. It teaches you why you got to make more money. How many of you guys know your fin? And even if you know your fin, do you know your number? My number is $42.6 million by the age of 50 years old. So I could get $50,000 every month, $600,000 for the year, for the next 71 years from 50 to 121 years old, which means that I will have a total of $42.6 million. $25,000 for me, $25,000 for my wife. That's our retirement. I don't care. We should have all type of problem but money problem. Well, we shouldn't have any problem, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? Money should not be one of them. Okay. So what I'm saying to you is you got to know your fin. Do you see how I know my number to the T? I know even the exact amount of years that I'm going to live. Yes, I will live to age 121 years old. You think I'm not going to live a long time? I'm going to be here for a long time, for a long while. Right? So you got to plan for how long you're going to be here. And you got to know how much you're going to need. That's why I know I got to make more money. That's why I told you I will be a billionaire. I am a billionaire before the age of 50 years old. I know it. I know it. So you got to know your fin. How about this? What else are you going to learn from reading the book? You're going to learn how to save. You will learn how to save so that way you can get better at your budgeting. Budgeting is not about tracking your spending, guys. Budgeting is about knowing how much you can save and how much you can spend before you do either one of them, because what's the problem in today's society? You know what's the biggest money problem that people have? People think it's that they don't make enough. As a matter of fact, people make enough money. The biggest problem with everybody today is that people overspend and undersave. Sad reality. They tend to spend more, save less. Right? Because no one ever told them how much they should spend and how much they should save. And then they're going to tell them, track spending. Track your spending. It's enticing them to go spend and then track it. What does that fix? That fixed nothing. Right? So you got to learn how to save. Also, the book is going to help you to learn how to grow your money. How to grow your money. And the only way you could grow your money is if you learn how to build a stronger financial foundation. And then the book is also going to teach you how to protect your money. Protecting your money by establishing what? Estate planning. You got to have a will. You got to have a trust. You got to have a power of attorney, a healthcare directive. And also, when you grow it, what does the financial foundation look like? Let me just give you those 4 things as well. When you build a stronger financial foundation, number 1, you got to have proper protection in place first. Number 2, you got to manage your debt and eliminate them. Number 3, you got to establish an emergency fund, have 3 to 6 months bare minimum. And then number 4, you got to save to invest. Save to invest. And when you save to invest your money, you got to understand what is your risk tolerance and tax tolerance. We'll talk more about that in another training. But you got to understand those fundamentals. That's why reading the Conquer Your Future book teaches so much about finance, the basic principles about how to build a secure financial future. But another thing you got to learn in our business, be a trainer. You got to learn how to be a trainer in business. Being a trainer in business is reading the magic of compounding recruiting, because every trainer is someone that could teach you how to move from a student to becoming an educator, right? You got to learn how to become a student, from a student to becoming an educator. But what is your daily focus in your business? These are your daily focus. Step 1, prospect. Get or add 5 new numbers, contacts to your list. You want to get or add. All right. So that means that you could go out prospecting, or you can add new names to your contacting list, right? That's your share list. Number 2, step 2, contacting 30 plus people every day. It's a numbers game. Remember, the goal is numbers. Now, here's what you should not do. Don't make the contact just to say, hey, coach, I made 30 calls today. I did it. No, that was the object of the goal. The goal is to make 30 plus calls until you get 3 appointments set up. Every day, your focus is to get 3 appointments set up. So for every 10 calls, write down these numbers. For every 10 contact that you may get 1 yes. Now, for every 10 yes that you may get 3 people, 3 appointments that actually show up. Now, for every 3 appointments that show up, you may get 1 person that join you or buy from you. Okay? Those are the things that you may happen to have there. So when you look and see, if for every person that join you in business or buy from you equals about $2,000 in BV points. All right? About $2,000 in BV points. So that's why step 3, it says, presentation. Every day, your goal is to focus anywhere from 1 to 3 plus people every day. Now, you may hear me say the word 1 to 3 plus people. Well, what is the one presentation that you must do every day? The one for yourself. You got to always present to yourself and work on 3 things. Write this down. 3 things you need to work on when you're doing your presentation. 1, you got to work on the introduction. 2, you got to work on your transition. And 3, you got to work on your closing. Okay? And you'll learn more about that as you go. Focus on educating 30 people every month. All right. Then the step in between step 3 and 4 is called the survey. You got to always review the survey. All right. Review the survey every day, because if you're going to do a follow-up, you got to review the survey. Review the survey and see what the person's interested in. The person's going to tell you every time, and that's how you follow up with your 30 plus people every day. Follow up to do an interview. An interview will lead to an AMA. Follow up to get a client by doing an FNA. Follow up with the student to get them into the workshops, right? And follow up with the person also that gives you referrals to get a share list. You got to always follow up. And start up 1 to 5 people every day. If someone do an AMA, fast start them. If someone do an FNA, get them a solution. If someone wants to be a student, get them into the workshop. Someone want to give you some referrals, get a share list going, right? Start out about those things and duplicate that. Duplicate that with your training associates, with your MDs, and with your RMDs. Always duplicate these steps. That's what makes you a trainer, guys. So until you know how to do all step 1 through 6 in our system, that's what prepares you to be a trainer, and then to become a leader, right? And a leader in our firm is someone who could build, be a leader in the business. And that's when you can understand the responsibility of a leader. See, everybody wants to be a leader until they know what comes with the responsibility. Now, what is the responsibility of a leader? Look right through step 1 through 6. It's right on the back of your LFS. You know who's a leader? We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But look at all the responsibility of a leader on the back of this LFS. On the back of the LFS, it says leader, number 1, leaders control prospect list development. Leader paint the picture of how the team will be built. That's step 1, leader's responsibility. Leader, step 2, leader control the point of contact. Leader helps start the video drop system, they'll play. Step 3, the presentation. Leader run the business opportunity presentation, which is the BOP. Mozone converts the prospects. Step 4, leader doing the follow-up. Leader guides new associates through speed filter 1 through 4. That's the one on the right, 1 through 4. Step 5, leader do startup. Leader get new associate off to a fast start by quickly completing the speed filter 5 through 8. How many guys see this filter, right? Then step 6, leader. Leader is responsible to get new associate through the entire LFS success cycle over and over and over again. See, everybody wants to be a leader until it requires them to do the work. So there's never given a time where you should ever feel like you have to do all this work by yourself. Your leader is supposed to do it for you until you become a leader. And that's why we say leaders work for you, but you work with your leader, right? And that's what makes HDI opportunity so important. So when it's all said and done, guys, you got to understand the business plan. The business plan is that you first start in our firm as a student. You come here as a student, a training associate. Your job is to learn the system. What does PCP plus FSD means? Prospecting, contacting, follow-up, startup, duplication, right? How do you earn your $1,000 to $2,000 in BV points, right? And earn that scholarship reimbursement. That's something that we want to help you to accomplish within your first 7 days. First 7 days. So that way, within 30 days of you being within our firm, we could help you to become an educator. An educator. What makes you a great educator? If you learn from the Conquer Your Future book, that's the first book you want to read because it's going to teach you a lot about finance. Because you got to remember, we're in the business of teaching people how to create wealth. So if you're going to understand how wealth is created, you got to understand how money is made, right? So that's why it's so crucial. It's so important that as an associate at a 45% contract, you educate 30 people so you can get 330 done. 10,000 business volume, personal production, first 30 days. 60 days in the business. You want to be on track to become a trainer, right? You start reading the magic of compound recruiting so you understand the dynamic of building a team and recruiting mass people. That's when you become an MD. MDs are trainers in our firm. 60%, 5-5-30, fast start, right? $25,000 in production first 60 days. And in 90 days in our business, yes, you can accomplish RMD within 90 days. You can. That's when you become a leader. RMD 78%, 10-10-30, $50,000 in production and base shop production, 90 days. So when it's all said and done, right, I want to ask you this question. Can you focus on becoming a leader in 90 days? Right? And I think everybody here should focus on that. Focus on becoming a leader within 90 days so that way your business could change in a major way. Focus on becoming a leader. If you focus on becoming a leader in 90 days, this is what's going to happen for you. You got to always do it right and do it with pride. Take pride in your business, guys. Don't take shortcuts. I've seen too many people take shortcuts and they end up with a big cut. Okay? Shortcuts give you a big cut. You just want to follow the path that's already laid out for us to follow. Mr. Humphrey did a very simple way for us. He gave us an LFS, he gave us the Conquer Your Future book, he gave us Fast Start, and he gave us the Magic of Compound and Recruited. He made it very simple. So that's the reason why when you do the Fast Start guide give you the information, right? Gives you information. Then the Conquer Your Future book gives you understanding about finance. Then the Magic of Compound Recruiting gives you clarity upon how to recruit and why to recruit. And then the LFS gives you confidence on how to do all of the above. That's how these books have changed my life. So that's the reason why I say leaders are readers. Leaders are readers. So at this time, I'll open up the call for any questions at this time or any takeaway. What is your takeaway from today? And what questions do you have for me?
Um, this is, I have always said, I have seen the presentation before, but like Coach has always told us, the more you see it, it's the more clarity we get. And with that, we're empowered even more in order to pass it on to someone else if we have to.
That is true. And that's why I always said that go to the meetings many times, many times, many times. Many, many times go to the meetings. I guarantee, Ms. Rafina, that you learned something new today. And you've seen this presentation probably about three, 4 times, if that.
Yeah. Or it how you say this? It reinforces the things that you've always been telling us. Sometimes we forget, but by
Yeah,
attending these meetings all the time, you remember, so yeah, yeah, yeah. This was something that we were told before, you know?
yeah,
I think it's always good to be there all the time to listen and learn.
yeah. And you see the result. Remember, the one thing I always can say, man, Miss Rafina, I told you days like this will come for you and your business. And to see how your business is flourishing with your business partners and it's
Mhm.
growing at a rapid rate. Sometimes I tell people that sometimes you have to slow down in order to speed up, right? Sometimes we have to slow down in order to speed up because God's speed is the only speed. What is meant for you will always be for you. God's speed, not our speed. That's why I always joke and say, hey, man plan, God laughs every time. Because now look at Team Wolfpack. The pack is growing. Man, I am super excited for you guys. Um, any other takeaway, anybody? Anybody else takeaway or questions?
I always get confused at this part. When you say 50,000 points, is that $50,000?
Yes. So anywhere they hear the word BV, business volume, those are dollars. So when I say that you could earn 25,000 BV in 90 days, oh, I meant that. A matter of fact, a good MD run should generate $25,000 in business volume. A good MD run, $25,000 in business volume. If it's run properly, yes. Because you're not selling.
Mhm.
You know why I know it will happen? Because in between all of that run and educating, because you're so fixated on educating, you're gonna come across people that have like 401ks,
Mm-hmm.
rollovers.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. If you never got into the rollover game yet, you need to start asking people if they have old 401ks. You see all those people that left your job, that laid off, Richard? If I was you, me and you need to start reach out to them and tell them how to secure their unsecure funds. All them 401ks that's sitting out there that got laid off, if I was you, I would be collecting data on everybody that got laid off because they got a 401k. They got one. All of that is rollovers. When I hear companies do mass rollovers, what? I'm trying to reach out and find out who do I know that work for that company. Start calling your friends and say, hey, do you know anybody that just got laid off from their job? You gotta know what to ask people. Man, I love rollovers. Imagine you could show someone how to get a 30% bonus upon their initial investment. Imagine that. Imagine someone have $100,000 in their 401k and you are able to increase it and get them an extra $30,000 on their initial bonus. That's what rollovers can do. And then guarantee them. Then on top of that, guarantee them 8% compound interest for the first 10 years of them doing that. Guarantee. And when they need the funds, they can even have an income for life, like a pension. What? And when they pass away, it avoids probate. Come on, man. This is the power that we have here, right? We got a lot of power. But any other questions take away before we jump over on the other training?
No.
Anything, Sarah? Any takeaway? All right, guys. All right. So great call. If you guys have any questions or any takeaway at any given time, do not hesitate to reach out, text or call. I see Omar. Omar, you had a question?
No, I just wanted to let you know, I'm gone 5. So I'm thinking I don't want to be overconfident and cocky, but I think I'm gonna beat your goal. I gone 5.
Oh, hey, you got one more to go. One
One
more to
more,
go. Hit
yeah.
it.
And I never thought that I was gonna get the other 2 people, but I got one more to go to get to 6.
Hey, you see that, guys? Omar reached out to me and he tell me that he got 3 new prospects. And I said to him, I challenge you to do 6. And he said, you got it. So here he is reported now. He's at 5.
Yeah, 5.
And
Yeah,
he
5.
got one more to go.
Yeah, one more. I got one more to go.
I don't know. I don't feel like, you know what? Tomorrow, I have a new challenge for you. If you hit the goal tonight, tomorrow I have a new challenge for you.
I would text you in the morning because you know how I steer. Not being,
Yeah.
it's not being ignorant, cocky, or over. I just wanted to let you know.
No, no, you on the crusade, man. No, I love the crusade, man. That's what I said. It's about the mission to educate.
Yeah, man, and I'm on it at the same time, at work or whatever, and taking my time and pick and choose. I try not to do everybody because you have to be careful how you come up to approach people about something like this. And the thing is, I don't want nobody to waste your time, and I don't want nobody to waste my time.
Yeah.
You
But
know.
remember, let's give everybody the opportunity to tell us yes or no.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all that
absolutely.
matters.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why, I
Yeah.
go ahead and just ask. You know what I'm saying? I go and
Yeah.
ask and explain. So you're right.
Absolutely, man. Well, I tell you, keep up the campaigning. The link is on the chat for us to jump over on the next call. So that way we'll go get some training from our coach
All right,
Rory and
all right.
Andrea.
If I don't make it to this one, you already know what it is. Because
Oh
Tuesday
no, I
at
know.
work, yeah,
Yeah.
I had to step in because it was Richard was the one invite me, text me. They said to come in.